Hello everybody. A couple of days ago I had actually started uploading a video about my opinion of chat rooms and dating online, but it turns out that the video is just not wanting to upload. I'm not sure what the reason is. There's an error. So here I am sitting down with you guys as if I'm having a cup of tea with you, something to eat. Maybe you can go and get yourself something. It's like midnight here at the moment, so it's a little bit too late for me to be eating or drinking anything that's going to keep me awake. So I won't be doing that, but you can go ahead and do that while we chat about chat rooms and dating online. Now, I did this video, and to be honest, there's no real way I can go back and have a look at what I'd said. So I might be telling you things that you've heard in different videos of me. Anyway, the point I want to make is, in life, there are two ways of saying things, okay? There's the way of seeing things like you should be cautious, you should be making sure that you're with the right type of people, or like you just need to be careful. And then there's the other side where life's a breeze, it's easy, things are fine, everything's going really well, what is meant to be is meant to be, and it's good, it's really good. So I have a very positive outlook on life, and sometimes that kind of stresses out people who are the complete opposite, who are like what they consider to be what is it? I've actually forgotten what the line is. I used to hear this line a lot. It'll come to me soon. Anyway, so these people are sort of like, they look out for the worst case scenario as opposed to what could actually go really well. And we know from successful people that there's all this, what if I do this, and what if I don't? So what if you do? Yeah, great, it might actually work out. What if you don't? Well, then you've never really had the you haven't tried, so you don't know. Now I'm going to start with chat rooms really quick, because that's basically, the thing that I want this video to be the majority about. And I also want to let you guys know that I realize I have a huge age range of people watching me here. So with that in mind, I don't want to make this certain age group specific, okay? I truly believe that at any age after 18, and I say after 18 because I'm in Australia and that's the adult age. When you're after you're 18, you can basically make a choice to do whatever you want. Is that you have the right to decide whether or not you want to go into a chat room and chat to people. Okay, so you have that right, which means it's really your responsibility about how you cope with talking to people who you've never met, people you haven't met face to face. Now, I think it's a funny thing, to be honest, that there are actually people in my life, or that I've heard from other people, who they haven't met online. They're people that I guess they were in the same town, grew up together, and they're more dangerous than the people that I've met in a chat room. And I just think you just have to be the one to understand what's really safe and important for you. The other thing that I hadn't mentioned in the video previously was details about yourself. So whenever I have been in a chat room before, I will not tell people where my address is. I will not tell people what my phone number is. I will not tell people like information about myself that clearly gives people an opportunity to find me. Okay. And I'm not doing this to make you fear people out there, because when you're, and I know this is business, but when you're in a business, network marketing is important, which means you do give out information like that so people know how to find you, how to access you. And in saying that though, when it's a business, you can also have a work number or like a business number, a business address, which means it's not your actual address, but it's somewhere that people can send parcels to you, or you can receive parcels. Okay. So I might be getting a bit off track here, but do you understand what I mean? It's being clever and smart about what information you're giving out. And to be honest, whenever I was in a chat room, I would listen a fair bit to the people who were in the chat room to understand what their conversation was about. And sometimes I would bring in my own sort of light-hearted insight of what was going on. You know, some people would have conversations about what they'd been doing that week. Other people would have conversations about the chat itself, or like, you know, it might sound like simple stuff like people's favorite food, people's favorite color, simple stuff like that. And I really enjoyed some of those chats in there. Keeping in a general chat room, that's the other thing. If you're not aware, when you go into a chat room, you have the option of being in the chat room and talking to a lot of different people that's online at the time. And then there'll be a couple that may reach out for you, or a lot, depends on who's on at the time, and they want to have like some private conversation with you. You always have the option to either go into a private chat room or private DM, whatever they call it. I'm not used to saying DMs. Or you stay in the general chat room. Again, that's up to you. And a lot of the time, it was instinct. If I felt comfortable having a private chat with that person privately, then I would go over there. If I wanted to stay in the chat room, generally I would stay in the chat room. And if I started off in the private chat room, I'd start talking to somebody and then they started saying weird things like, and I'm sure it's happened, but I just really can't remember because it's been a while back. They say something about what am I wearing, or, you know, I don't know, ask you to take something off or take a photo. I can't remember. As I said, it's been a while, but you get the intention that they're not really there to have a nice, civilized conversation. Then get out of it and don't feel bad about it. And if they start chasing after you, I think there are ways you can probably report it, but to be honest, you were the one that went into that chat. I've got an itchy arm for some reason. So you just avoid it. You just you know, press that cross button and get out of it and focus on the chat room, or just completely log out of the chat room and forget that ever happened and all that sort of stuff. So I'm doing my best talking to you guys about this because I know that there are people out there who are like me, and you thrive off having conversations with people online. I have friends online, like some of you guys. Never met you in person, but I get this really warm and fuzzy feeling, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to let you know it's okay to have friends who are online that you've never met before. It's absolutely okay. And I had times when, like during the times when I was on chat rooms, I didn't really have many friends that were off chat rooms, that were, you know, face to face, that I could catch up with. And so to me, it just made sense to get on a chat room and talk to people about things that could be about myself. As I said, it's fine to talk about yourself. Just make sure that you're not giving them information about where you live and how they can contact you out of the chat room. Just talk to them about what's going on in there, you know. And then there were other avenues as well. I won't lie about that. Maybe you guys, I don't even know if it's still going, but Skype was a way that people would video chat, because chat rooms really are sort of like a source to begin with. So people just generally talk in there, and then they say, oh, let's go on to, do you have a Skype, or do you have a WhatsApp, or do you have this, somewhere where they can video call you? And again, up to you whether you want to have that video chat. I've seen in some video chats that people have photos of their bodies. You don't see their faces. And already to me, that's a warning sign. I would not talk to somebody who just has a picture of their body. I had a friend at the time, and by the way, she wasn't an online friend. We were actually hanging out together because she just wanted to, I don't know, get to know some guy. I wasn't really into meeting guys from chat rooms, but anyway, she just wanted to talk to one and see what it was like. And she made the decision to, I don't know, chat to this good looking guy or something. There was a photo of him, and then we went into the chat, and he, not so nice, but he had a photo of his you know what, and I said to her, this is not good, let's get out of it. And we did. Like, you know, we made the decision to, he's not really interested in talking to you. He's interested in, you know, what that photo was. And it's a choice. I'm just wanting to let you guys know that when you get into a chat room, it's all about the choices that you make and who you feel comfortable talking to. Of course, there's going to be some, I understand that there are some people out there who've had these chat room chats and they've gone further meeting up with the person. Now, I can tell you 100%, I did not meet up with any of the people I talked to on chat rooms. Why? Because I didn't feel the need to. I was more than happy to just chat to them there, and that's where I left them. There have been, yes, other people in the world who have talked to somebody and they've thought, oh, let's catch up. Now, if that's the case, I think there are other sort of things that you would want to know about, which is, where are you going to meet them? Are you going to meet them with somebody else? All that sort of stuff to keep in mind. But I'm just talking to you as a person who just wants to talk to someone on a chat room, because they may understand what you're going through, and that's okay. Online dating is definitely something that, again, a lot of people can get a little bit afraid of. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I was saying that some people have met certain, whoever they've talked to on chat rooms in person. Online dating, you do. Because why? You're hoping to date this person. So of course there are going to be opportunities when you're not just going to be chatting to the person, but you really have the intention of going on a date with them. Now, I've been on quite a few websites. Some of them may ring a bell for you. I've been on Tagged, I've been on RSVP, possibly Harmony. And the one I met, actually Tagged was where I met my first boyfriend. POF, which is also known as Plenty of Fish, is where I met my second boyfriend, and Greg. Yeah, I met Greg online, in case some of you are new to my channel and you didn't know that. What I want to tell you about online dating, because again, it's I want you to know that it doesn't matter what age you are. You should have the right to, yes, what age you are, as long as you're 18 and above. It shouldn't matter who you meet online. And whatever you've heard about people you know, having these warning bells about who they should meet, of course you are the best person to know what's safe for you. No one else should tell you what's safe for you, because there'll be always there'll be people out there who think that what you're doing is crazy because they've never done it themselves. And I'm going to tell you now that I knew in my heart, I'm believing that my heart is aside, I knew in my heart I was going to meet the right person online. And you can go back to my other video about how why I met Greg online. But I don't want to talk about that in here. So the whole idea is you talk to somebody online with the dating, and you'll have a profile that basically lets them know who you are, what you're interested in, maybe what sort of relationship you're looking for, because that's the other thing. If people aren't so aware of what type of relationship you're looking for, it can go sideways in that somebody who wants something casual meets with somebody who has the intention of something more serious. That can make things a little bit challenging because you're both not looking for the same thing. When I met so I had 2 boyfriends before I met Greg. I was looking for something serious, and both of them seemed okay with that. It was on my profile. Not everybody reads your profile though either. Sometimes they just look at your photos. Greg has been very honest with me, and he wasn't really looking at my profile. He loved how I looked, and that was my first response with my first boyfriend. I was physically attracted to him, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? So if you're online dating, I do advise it helps to have a friend come with you. For my first meetup, I had my friend and her dog meet up with me. In fact, my friend needed a dog because it was like a companion dog. We met at the movies and it went really well. And I was very lucky that it went really well, and I really looked forward to seeing him again, and so did he. It wasn't a very long relationship, but the length of a relationship is not measured by online dating. It's just you and that person, whether it's going to work or it's not going to work. When you're online dating, tell a couple of people that you trust what you're doing, because it does help. Don't tell the people who you think would support you but generally don't understand what you're doing, because that can be a bit scary for them. I know. Don't tell people who don't get it. Talk to people who do. I'm very lucky that, going back to the chat rooms, my mum knew of somebody who had a friend that knew about the life of chat rooms, and I used to meet up with her for lunch after church, and she was like my mum's age, but she was very easy to talk to, and I never really got the impression that I was in trouble. I was very happy that I had somebody to talk to if I did, feel uncomfortable in the chat room that I couldn't talk to my mum about, or I couldn't talk to someone else close to me. But she was very open about it, and that's why I had a really good experience on chat rooms, because I had somebody out of my, box, who was older, experienced, and was okay to talk about that sort of thing. Also with online dating, yes, there have been times when people will take a photo of themselves and they won't actually look like themselves. Give it time to talk to them online, and also make an effort to have a phone call with them and or a video chat. Video chats can be a bit funky because you don't really know if what you're looking at, if you know what I mean. You could be looking at the right person and talking to them, but sometimes people that you hear and talk to on a video is not the type of person you're going to meet face to face. Greg and I used to spend a lot of time talking on the phone together for hours on end, just about what we were interested in. And after hearing his voice, I knew exactly who I was going to be meeting up with, and I'm actually really grateful that it worked out for us. So it does happen. If you are one of those people who've been thinking, should I or shouldn't I make the effort to meet someone online? I'm really scared. I don't know if it's a good thing. Well, obviously with that intention, it is scary and it may not work out. But instead have the intention of, I'm open to whatever way it will happen. I'll meet my, whoever online, or I'll meet them somewhere else. I was definitely not the type of person to want to meet someone at a club or somewhere that, people get drunk or dance around and get silly. I didn't want that. My intention was a chat room, and I'd find out what that other person was interested in, which is how we had the conversation. With the other relationships, I learned more about who I was, and I felt really lucky to have met them, because it just taught me more about what I wanted in a relationship. And I hope that if you guys do that too, when you date somebody online or offline, I'm giving you the option, it'll be somebody that really understands you for who you are and doesn't take advantage of you. I will say that the second relationship I had was not 101% genuine, but regardless, he was a good person, and it just didn't work out for us, and that's okay. That's okay. All of them were good people. They were all good people, and I just think it's really important for you to know that meeting someone online as opposed to, meeting someone through a friend or something like that, can be just as safe, can be just as dangerous. It depends how you look at it. It depends on who you are and what you're looking for. I love that we have the option to meet people online, but I also love the option that we have to meet people through friends and, something a bit more, they call it mutual, I think. But you should never feel that meeting someone online is a bad thing just because society doesn't agree with it. That's their opinion about it, but it might be exactly the right place for you to meet that person. They're going through similar things. They're really good at listening to you. Greg is really great at communicating. I'm so glad that he was open to us having phone calls, and I'm pretty sure he would have done a video chat with me too if I wanted, but I was okay with phone calls. And then when we met in person, it was a great time for us to really talk. And the first time we met, we went shopping. It was shopping for me. I needed some new boots. In fact, I need some new clothes now. But anyway, hopefully that's been helpful for you. Do what you feel is right, and let others know who you're comfortable telling what you're doing when you're on chat rooms, when you're on, what I said, online dating. And if you need to bring somebody with you, make sure it's somewhere public, make sure it's somewhere that you feel comfortable with, but don't do it like after you've talked to them in a day or two. I think you need to give it a bit of time. Some people can quickly judge a person by their cover, if you know what I mean, but I like the idea of taking my time to get to know someone than just to talk to them that day and meet up straight away. Oh, excuse me. So follow your heart.